Now at 10, we look at the building permit numbers from the city of Joplin. Plus, we'll visit Pittsburgh to check out the art walk and the latest on the Supreme Court's self-imposed deadline tonight on a commonly used abortion pill.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The abortion pill mifepristone remains available tonight and will likely stay that way until at least next year. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Biden administration and the drug maker, who are appealing a ruling that limits the pill's availability. Reporter Willie James Inman was outside the Supreme Court today with more.
The Supreme Court said Friday it will not limit access to the abortion pill mifepristone, while a lower court challenge plays out.
People can obtain mifepristone via the mail. People can use mifepristone up to 10 weeks of pregnancy. There is no change at this point.
Earlier this month, Judge Matthew Kacsmaryk, a Trump appointee, blocked the FDA's approval of mifepristone. An appeals court then struck down the full ban but set limits on its availability. Another appeal by the Biden administration and drug maker Danco Laboratories will begin next month.
The legal default is to say, let's maintain the status quo while the case is being appealed. And that's exactly what is going to happen now.
Anti-abortion demonstrators outside the Supreme Court were hoping the conservative majority upheld the ban.
Many people misunderstood that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, that was it. That was just a starting line.
The case will likely make its way back to the Supreme Court at some point in the future, where justices would then weigh in on the merits of the case.
The president has been very clear. This administration has been very clear. We are going to continue to fight for women's reproductive rights.
Mifepristone has been used by more than 5 million women in the U.S. since it was first approved in 2000. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Justices Thomas Alito and Clarence Thomas were the 2 publicly dissenting votes. It's unclear if the 7 other justices all voted in favor, but we know at least a majority of them did. The Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation is looking into 2 deaths in Grove. An OSBI authority confirms they were called in for assistance from the Grove Police Department after 2 people were found dead. Authorities have not yet released any further details. A Northeast Oklahoma man is charged in the death of an infant. Michael Gregory of Commerce was indicted with 1 count of first-degree murder, 2 counts of child abuse, and 2 counts of child neglect, all in Indian country. Quapaw authorities say it involved 2 infant victims who are 2-month-old twins. 1 infant was killed. Gregory has been released on bond. Court documents say the alleged crimes took place between November and December of last year. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane for our first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. Beautiful day across the area. A little bit on the chilly side, especially this morning. Right now, we're looking at Venus in the western sky. High of 69 today. We started out at 40, which were below the normals of 71 and 48. And get used to that because we're going to see many below normal days in the coming week as we go through the forecast. In fact, there's a freeze watch in effect for parts of southeastern Kansas and southwestern Missouri. This goes until Sunday at 9 a.m. when we could see a record low set across the area. Clouds right now are off towards the west, nothing really on radar to speak of. And taking a larger view, we have a cold area of low pressure up to the north, and that's going to be sending that cold air mass down to the south across our area over the weekend. Temperatures right now are already in the 40s. Look at Chanute, already down to 43 degrees. And of course, I'll have more details on the record cold in just a little bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Joplin seeing its usual spring building boom. Joplin officials report building permits for March amounted to about $7.4 million. The city says most of the March permits were for commercial construction projects, including a new retail development and several renovations to existing businesses. There's been growth in other areas of the community as well.
There's more growth on the edges of town with that housing and annexations, and that's a good thing. So from what I can tell, people are still looking to live inside the city and work inside the city, and it's a good fit.
City officials say the surge in construction activity is expected to create jobs and stimulate economic growth in the area. Missouri Southern is hosting the 60th annual Missouri Academy of Science Conference. That 2-day event kicked off today. It included a social with refreshments and science improv for entertainment. Tomorrow, the event's going to include more than 170 scientific poster and oral research presentations.
That our younger generation cares and that they're motivated and they're trying, and that we have really great sets of teachers across the state of Missouri who are still dedicated to their students and making sure their students are successful.
The organizers expect the conference to draw more than 250 participants from all across the state and region. So folks are dusting off the cowboy boots and hats in Carthage. The Southwest Missouri Classic kicked off today at the Lucky J Arena. It's a qualifier for the United States Team Roping Championships. Like a lot of events in the rodeo world, what began as a job on the ranch evolved into a fun competition.
Why we do it? It's a competition, and it's just another sport, and in the cowboy world, that's what everyone does, a lot of them.
The Southwest Missouri Classic continues tomorrow and Sunday. Everyone is welcome. Christian Church of Carl Junction is holding a clothing surplus sale to raise money for kids in the foster care system. The church runs a caring closet. It's a way for people to donate clothes for kids in foster care, but they end up with a surplus every year, so they hold sales where each item is 25 cents. The funds raised go to a lot of necessities.
So this is a way to raise a little more money so we can buy new items like new underwear, new socks, new things that the kiddos in foster care need.
The church typically holds 2 of these sales per year, one in the spring, one in the fall. Coming up, how some folks in Kansas City celebrated 420 yesterday, plus downtown Pittsburgh hosted its art walk. We'll take a visit. Kansas plans to hold a presidential primary in March of next year. Now, the state usually leaves it to political parties to decide whether they want to have more exclusive caucuses or state conventions instead. Governor Kelly today signed a bill into law that schedules the primary election for March 19th of 2024. It's for the Democratic, Republican, and Libertarian parties. The measure had bipartisan support when the Republican-controlled legislature approved it this month. County officials will oversee the voting, and the state is likely to cover the cost, which could be several $1 million. Thousands of people celebrated the legalization of recreational marijuana in Missouri. Mark Pelos has more on the first ever 420 Fest in River Bend.
It's starting to open your mind up. It's no longer the prohibition.
In River Bend, thousands of weed smokers descended upon 420 Fest, anxious to celebrate Missouri's first 420 since marijuana became legal in the state.
I'm feeling good, you know. Been waiting for this the past 20 years of my life.
I'm all for the movement. I'm a local grower, and I love the movement.
The movement is gaining significant traction in Missouri. In February, the state saw more than $100 million worth of marijuana sales. In March, that number got higher, up to $125 million. The demand even created fear of a shortage. We talked to the vice president of retail at From the Earth Dispensary, and he said the fears of a shortage will soon be gone.
Honestly, it's significantly busier than we were expecting. When it did in November go vote for recreational, there wasn't really a lot of time for some of these cultivators to prepare to really scale up. But from what I've heard, there's good things right around the corner.
More things are also around the corner in the Smoky River Entertainment District. Event organizers told KCTV5 they want to have 5 to 6 events this year and then really rev up in the years to come.
Late 2024, 2025, we hope to have completed our amphitheater, outdoor amphitheater of 8,000 to 14,000, with a couple other venues of 3,000 in capacity to 800 in capacity.
Ric Flair, Mike Tyson, and Wiz Khalifa were among the celebrities at 420 Fest. Still ahead, we're going to hear from some folks enjoying today's Pittsburgh Art Walk.
And I'm going to be back with your record cold forecast when we come back. Well, friends, it was pretty chilly this morning across the area with temperatures in the 30s and 40s for lows. And it's still a cool night right now with clear skies. You can see at Indigo Sky Casino and Resort in Seneca, Missouri. Mostly fair skies. You can see the planet Venus there in the distance. And we're going to see these clear skies allowing temperatures to fall tonight along with the dry air in place and the calmer winds. It's already down to 43 in Chanute, 46 in Yates Center, 49 in Iola, 50s elsewhere. It also is in the 40s up to the north of Nevada and in Stockton. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at a temperature of 50 degrees even with a calm wind and a dew point of 31. And that kind of gives you an indication of where we're going tonight. The temperature can't drop below the dew point, but we're going to get close to that with lows in the 30s tonight with low humidity. And north winds tonight are going to be slackening up just a little bit. In fact, they're already dropping down to calm across the area. A few places, 8 miles an hour in Independence. And with the calm conditions, clear skies, and low dew points, that's what allows the temperature to really drop like a rock once the sun goes down. Tomorrow, we're going to see the winds still out of the north, maybe a little bit more gusty tomorrow than they were today, around 20 miles per hour, especially out in southeastern Kansas. Then as we go through Saturday evening into Sunday morning, the winds are going to really drop as well, with winds generally calming down by Sunday morning. Right now on satellite and radar, not a whole lot going on across our area. We have to zoom out to show you anything interesting. Up towards the north, we have some snow in Nebraska, believe it or not, in northern Iowa. That's all part of a powerful low that is sitting up in the northern plains. And behind that low, cold air from Canada is draining down across the plain states, and that's going to continue through right at least the weekend. This northwesterly flow is going to keep us in a dry direction for the most part for the next 24 hours, and then cooler air will be reinforced by more pulses of cold air dropping down from the north. So it's definitely not going to feel like spring out there as we go through the forecast, and we'll show you that in a moment. Lows tonight are going to be in the 30s up towards the north, 40s down to the south, maybe 39 in Bentonville. Then tomorrow afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy skies, especially down to the south where there could be some showers in Oklahoma and Arkansas with highs in the mid-50s. Then as we go through Saturday night into Sunday morning, look at these lows. In the lower 30s, a freeze warning is in effect for southeastern Kansas and southwestern Missouri, actually a freeze watch, but wouldn't be surprised to see it turn into a freeze warning as we go into Sunday. Then as we go into Monday afternoon, we're going to see mostly fair skies on Sunday afternoon with highs in the 50s and 60s on northeasterly winds. Then Monday, we're going to see the clouds increasing once again from the west with lows not as chilly, but still cool for this time of year in the lower 40s and upper 30s. Then as we go into Sunday afternoon, again, highs in the 50s. And then notice the rain starts to develop out towards the west on Monday. That sneaks into our areas. We go into Tuesday morning with lows in the 40s with scattered showers around. And that continues into Tuesday afternoon with highs only in the 50s. And then as we go into Wednesday, still cool with highs in the 50s and scattered showers. Let's take a look at the next 7 days. It's a cold one. In fact, record low on Sunday morning, a low of 32, chilly in the afternoon, 58, and then rain Monday through Friday, but it's not going to be raining all the time, just scattered showers here and there. But look at that, highs only in the 50s and lows in the 40s. And then as we extend it out, next weekend we finally start to dry out just a little bit, but still cool, highs only in the 60s.
And we certainly don't want to freeze, but boy, some showers would be welcome.
Showers would be most welcome.
Thanks, Sam. Special event brought the Pittsburgh community together tonight to enjoy art, live music, and live performances. KOAM's Cale Chapman was there to give us a close-up look.
The Pittsburgh Arts Council hosted the Spring 2023 Art Walk in downtown Pittsburgh, Kansas tonight. The Art Walk featured over 100 participants, including 50 artists, 4 main stage bands, 10 musical acts, 17 organizations, and 22 vendors. Visitors could buy artists' art or donate directly. Pittsburgh Arts Council President Krista Cunningham says they organize the event every year to share culture with the community.
So culture is really important to a community, and we feel that it's our job to make sure that we celebrate that we experience it so everybody can be a part of it.
Some artists have called the Art Walk home for many seasons. Jamie Runney got her start at the Art Walk and is now a full-time artist.
Well, yeah, my first show ever was here at the Art Walk. We had like half of a table. I come back because it's still a very receptive event. I've always had a lot of really good luck talking with people. Everybody is so friendly. The people that run the event are so easy to talk with.
Whether you're an artist or not, the Art Walk could be for you. In Pittsburgh, Cale Chapman, KOAM News.
The next Pittsburgh Art Walk will be in September. It's now time for Jacob to be on television. He's talking about sports. Carl Junction Bulldogs host a border battle against Pittsburgh.
Two teams meet today in Carl Junction, and it was a terrible day to be a pitcher. We're going to talk about that. And another offensive explosion for Missouri Southern, this time against Northeastern State. Those highlights and more coming up next. The Missouri Southern Lions are tied for first place in the MIAA with just 6 conference games remaining. The Lions are 21-6 in the league, even with Central Missouri at the top of the standings. Tonight, Missouri Southern kicks off their final home series of the regular season, hosting Northeastern State. Southern on a 6-game winning streak coming into the night. We're tied at 2 in the 5th. That's when the game gets fun. Tragan Parker, you know he's a Webb City kid by now, hammers it up and out to right center. Solo homer for Parker. That is just the start. Next pitch, Henry Kuziak really catches all of this one out to dead center. Kuziak makes it back-to-back jacks for the Lions. They're up 4-2. Bases loaded now for Will Doherty. He delivers a liner into left. Ethan Clark home easily. Garrett Rice dives in after him. RBI single for Doherty, and it's 6-2. The next batter, Drew Davis, bounces it back up the middle. Matt Miller hustles in. Now it's 7-2, and guys, we're still in the same inning. Nate Miskowski now, big swing out to right center, bounces all the way to the fence. Doherty is in, Davis in 2, it's 9-2. We're back through the lineup and back to Tragan Parker, and you know I ain't leaving it out. Parker gets his second hit of the inning. That scores Miskowski. 8 runs in the 5th for Southern, makes it 10-2. Then in the 7th, the Aurora, Missouri kid Matt Miller ends the ball game early. RBI single scores Ethan Clark. And that's it. All Missouri Southern in Game 1 against NSU. Lions win 14-4 in 7 innings. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas open a 3-game series against Newman tonight. We'll pick this one up in the bottom of the 2nd. Carson Coffey at the plate for the Gorillas. Nails this ball to dead center. That leaves the yards. Solo shot makes it 1-0 Pittsburgh State. To the bottom of the 3rd now, same score. Nixon Brannon up. Check it out. Hits it off the third baseman's glove here. Rolls into left. Dagan Brady comes in to score. Gorillas up 2-0 now. Later on in the inning, how about another round to Coffey? Carson Coffey hits a rocket to right. With the wind behind it, clears the wall. 2-run homer gives the Gorillas a 4-0 lead. However, to the top of the 5th, Gorillas up 4-1. Jenner Steele smacks this to right. That ball is gone. Newman takes a 5-4 lead, and the Gorillas unable to get back in front. Newman takes this one tonight, 7-6. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons snapped a 3-game losing streak last night, going on the road and beating Field Kinley 23-1. And with that win, the Purple Dragons are now 8-4 this season. Now Pittsburgh right back on the road tonight, this time for a border battle against the Carl Junction Bulldogs. A fast start for Pittsburgh. Webb Fern drives one high and deep to right center, bounces to the fence out there. Dawson Stegman scores. Tucker Akins not too far behind him. Check it out, Fern in there for the triple. Purple Dragons go up 2-0. Later in the inning, Jacob Linehan pulls one through the left side. Bo Pasteur trots in on the RBI single. It's 4-0 Purple Dragons after 1. Second inning, now 5-0, but CJ gets something going. Logan Eck helps his own cause here with the hard drive to left. Bounces into the corner. Lucas Van Landuit scores. Triple for Eck. Bulldogs kept the deficit to 5-2, but in the 3rd, Pittsburgh gets those runs back. Jackson Turnbull, hard bouncer down the line into the left. That brings 2 more home. Double for Turnbull makes it 9-2. Terrible day for pitchers. All offense. Pittsburgh wins this one over Carl Junction 17-12. College softball here. 25th ranked Southern plays a doubleheader against Northwest Missouri State. Game 1, Southern wins 5-1. Ashlyn Williams hits a home run and gets a pair of RBIs. So in Game 2, Lions try to sweep the day, and they do it winning 4-3. Sydney Hurst goes 1 for 3 and drives in 2. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas also on the field today for a pair of games against Missouri Western. Game 1, 2nd inning, Hannah Harrison in the circle for the Gorillas. Gets the swing and the miss, one of her 6 strikeouts on the day. Now in the 3rd inning, Heather Arnett making plays on the base paths. Look at the great slide to avoid the tag. The former Frontenac Raider gets the steal, then moments later in a rundown, Arnett again avoids the tag. At that point, Gorillas up 2-0. The next inning, another local kid, former Columbus High School standout Gracie Sullivan drops it into center. That scores Kiana Pellegrino. Pitt State takes a 4-1 lead after 4. Final inning, it's 4-2. Harrison ends the game with a strikeout. Pitt State takes Game 1 from Missouri Western 4-2. Game 2, Gorillas try for the sweep, another good one. They win that one 4-3. Paxton Hayes comes through with a walk-off single in the bottom of the 7th. It's obviously a busy day, and I just want to thank the Missouri Southern Lions. That game was 2-2 when I walked up to that game. They scored 8 in the first inning. And I scored. It made my job a lot easier.
They were just waiting for the TV camera to show up.
I appreciate it.
If they're going to do it, they might as well do it in front of thousands of people.
Sure.
We'll be right back. Some kids at Steadley Elementary in Carthage have been learning the ropes of business. Third grade students have been making paper goods, and today they sold those goods at their own stores. It teaches them about economics. They've been writing slogans, and they're going to film commercials.
Well, because I got 13 stars for my interest inventory, and that means that people really thought these were cool, and we had a lot of patterns, and they had really cool patterns.
But they were cool, Cooper. Next, the students are going to complete a cost analysis breakdown. Again, these are third graders.
Wow, they start earlier and earlier.
I guess so.
Yeah. We're going to have a chilly week weather-wise, especially on Sunday morning with a record low of 32 degrees. Freeze watch in effect for that in southeastern Kansas, southwest Missouri, and then showers all next week. And then we finally get back into the 60s next week.
Final sports notes.
We showed you Missouri Southern baseball beat Northeastern State 14-4. Everybody helped out. Everybody pitched in. 6 different players for Southern had at least 2 RBIs.
It's nice. Spread the wealth a little bit. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great weekend.